will have to serve a minimum of 12 months community supervision when they leave prison. Just looking at that in the newspapers. Now, these are plans being laid out by the Justice Secretary today. I was speaking to him later in the programme, but the Acting General Secretary of the Probation Staff Trade Union is in our Westminster studio, and that's Ian Lawrence. Ian, good morning to you. Ian, the Justice Secretary, he says, look, this doesn't work, this probation business. He is frustrated because he spends billions on probation, but he says that there is no real dent made in the appetite of offenders to commit more crime. It suggests it doesn't work. What would you say to that?
Absolute nonsense. The probation service has achieved a 5.5% reduction in reoffending in the last year, whereas reoffending in the group of short-term prisoners that Mr Grayling and our members want to help has risen by about 6.4%.
Okay, so what does this mean for your members? I mean, this outsourcing of work that was yours?
Well, it means the destruction of about 70% of our members' jobs, and the handling of intervention management being put in the hands of untrained private sector companies.
But Ian, the government will say, and I've got the Justice Secretary coming on, I know what he's going to say. He's going to say there's going to be no difference whether these are state employees or private employees, and in fact, I'm sure he will argue, looking at the rates, he'll dispute what you have had to say there. He'll say these guys will do a better job. Now, you will be worried about things like security. You will bring that up. Why can't the private sector do things as securely as you guys would?
Well, let's make it clear that the probation service already works with the voluntary sector and in some cases private sector providers in partnership to properly rehabilitate offenders. And of course what the Minister will be saying is we need more prisons. Well, we don't. We don't need millions of pounds of taxpayers' money shoved into a new prison system when rehabilitation works and our members can undertake it and have a proven record in it.
Yeah, well, you and me could go around in circles forever. I'll just say to you, they will say that rehabilitation doesn't work, that reoffending rates are just far too high. So, if the Justice Secretary was talking to you now and he says reoffending rates are far too high, would you see that, and it may be implied that it is a failure of your members and their ability to do whatever they do or the way they do whatever they do?
Well, let's make it clear, our members do not deal with the under 12-month custodial community. They're the people that Mr Grayling and our members want to help. And I'm quite prepared to sit down with ministers and work with this government to try and deal with that issue. But if you let us deal with those people, we might make a difference. We don't deal with under 12-month custodials.
Do resettlement prisons make a difference? Tell me about resettlement prisons and what goes on there.
Well, you probably need to talk to my colleagues in the prison service itself, but if you're talking about our interface with prisoners, we already have that by way of probation officers working in prisons. Rehabilitation rates are pretty good. We want to see an improvement, obviously, but we need the resources to do that, and we need to be allowed to manage and do what we do effectively.
Right, so the government think they have got the answer to this problem, that they're going to make a dent in the reoffending rates. What do you say you need to be able to carry out your job effectively?
I don't want to see my members' work privatised. I want to be allowed to get on with our job, work in partnership with other providers, do what we've been doing brilliantly for 100 years.
Thank you very much indeed. Ian Lawrence is the NAPO Acting General Secretary. NAPO is the trade union for probation officers. The Justice Secretary was saying Chris Grayling, 7:30 this morning. Any questions for him, you can email us, you can tweet us as well. Prince Harry.